today I'm going to bring to you what it looks like for a support main when they decide to become a DPS main. And oh yes, they become a DPS legend overnight. So let me show you what I did in a short 35-minute span, 4 games, and moving over to Junkerat. Cue the play of the games. All right, if you haven't figured that I've been trolling up to this point, I have been trolling. I won't leave support main to become a DPS main. And yes, I know it is much more difficult to play DPS than what I just showed there. So a couple of disclaimers on that one. One, for the competitive games, they were in silver lobbies. So obviously I'm pretty new to the game, and I am in silver when it comes to support. I had moved down from gold, which where I finished last season, and I am in placements for DPS. So I'm assuming I'm either in silver or bronze. I guess the safe assumption would be bronze. Now, what I found interesting on this was that for Junkerat, a spam character, I wanted to see how hard it was to play them, and we were kind of getting smoked, so I was like, well, I'm going to switch it up a little bit from Soldier 76, who I feel comfortable playing, and I went over to Junkerat, and it was exactly what I thought it was. It was a lot of spamming and a little bit of aim, not really. You just had to kind of guess where you wanted to shoot your projectiles and hope that the enemy was going to run into him and or stay still, which you see that in the plays of the game. Very easy character to use. And when I say that, I know that there's folks out there that are going to be masters and grandmasters, and they're going to be able to use the character much more effectively than I'm going to. And we'll just put that out there right now. And I'm not suggesting that it's not a character that requires some skill. What I'm suggesting is you take somebody like me that didn't have any prior skill with Junkerat, and I was able to go in 35 minutes and get in a couple of plays of the game, which was pretty cool. But again, you know, I know that being a DPS main would be a lot of hard work, and it's just not something that I can do. So I still wanted to take a look and see where I could rank myself or where I could place in my DPS. First thing I did was I went back to Soldier 76, which you can see I have more than 10 hours on Soldier 76. And there's a couple of reasons why I think it's a very good character for a newer player like myself. One, I really feel like it has that run and gun vibe, very much like Call of Duty, Apex, or Fortnite. So it was very easy to transition and to come in and play that character. Number two, I think the kit that Soldier 76 carries is very conducive for newer players like myself, because I can heal myself, which is really nice. I can use the run and gun and the sprint, essentially, which is going to be very similar to the games that I had mentioned prior, and it's very easy to pick up. Now, is the aim easy? I would say I don't know if I would say easy, but easier than some of the other DPS characters that are out there, you know, like Widow or Ashe, which to me are much more difficult to use. But obviously, if you become good with your aim and your movement on them, then it makes a huge difference from your DPS, right? So for me, it's just an easy transition coming over. So I decided to, you know, go back on that crutch and try to see where I placed. Now, I haven't won 7 games yet, which is crazy. I've probably played 15, and I'm at, I think, 5 wins. So I'm losing a lot more games than I'm winning. And lo and behold, it has a lot to do with DPS, right? So I am definitely short stacking a lot of the times when I'm on DPS, and keep in mind, you'll see in the gameplay behind, I do ask like, hey, where's everybody ranked? Some folks are in placements. Some folks are already in gold lobby. Some are in silver. And to me, that's kind of disheartening coming over from a different game that I'm playing with folks that are already in gold and silver, because I really don't want to grief their game, but I do genuinely want to know where I rank with that. And I think that for me, being a newer player, obviously Soldier is going to be an easier character for me to play. And then transitioning over to a player like Junkerat, where it's a lot more spam, I tend to do a lot more damage with Junkerat. However, what I'm experiencing right now is that I'm not able to gather and rack up the eliminations needed to really help my team. So it's basically like doing useless damage. Now, it is fun to get the play of the games, absolutely, and it is an easy character to learn. There's not a lot of stuff going on. You know, obviously I'm hitting left click, left click, left click. Typically I'll hit shift and then I'll right click depending on where the characters are at, and hopefully I can hit my E button to lay a nice trap. Now that's basically all it is for that character. A lot of left clicking, a little bit of shift, one right click, and an E here and there. So, you know, I might make that sound pretty easy. Now, obviously, for our masters and grandmasters and folks that are just above me in any lobbies, they're going to be using their grenades to help move them or help elevate them, and a little bit more strategy comes with that, no doubt. And I'm not trying to take anything away from those players and or the hero themselves. I'm just saying, as a casual gamer, which that's what I am, as a newbie, which that is what I am, with less than, I would say, 2 hours in competitive DPS and maybe 15 hours total of DPS, this is a great character for me to try to run through and build up that damage. Now, will I continue to use Junkerat? Absolutely not. I think I want to continue to get better with Soldier 76, and as my aim improves, then I'll start using some of the other characters like Sojourn and Widow and even Ashe, so that way I can be a better team player for my team. But so far, my experience has been fairly good. The teams, for the most part, have been fairly good. My initial intent for this video was to keep a tracker of how many times I was going to get roasted coming into DPS competitive and while I was doing my placements. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I had only gotten roasted a couple of times, even though my play did not match what my teammates were doing, especially on the support and the tank side. So on that note, if you've made it this far, make sure you hit that like, make sure you hit that subscribe down below. We have just hit 78 total subs so far. We are going to encroach on 50,000 views. We're going for that 500,000 views this year, and we really want to hit that 1,000. So I could use your support. Like my video, share it out. That works as well. And if there's anything that I can do to improve the content, make sure you leave that comment down below, and we will definitely take that into consideration. So if you have a microphone and you're playing with me in Apex, please use that microphone. Would definitely like to focus on that win. For everyone else, I hope you have a great week. This is Soul Betty, over and out.